Hey, in our last session, we were discussing about, about dynamic routing protocols, right?
Yeah.
Dynamic routing protocols. Okay. So in dynamic routing protocols, we have IGP and EGP.
Yeah, EGP.
Yeah, IGP is nothing but interior gateway routing protocols and exterior gateway protocols. Okay. So in
Yeah,
IGP,
okay.
we have RIP version 1, RIP version 2. Okay. And EAGRP,
Yeah, GRP OS.
OSPF. Okay. So in BGP, I mean EGP, we have only one protocol that is called BGP. Okay. So in
BGP,
RIP,
okay.
yeah, RIP version 1, we are having, what I can say, only classful addresses it supports. So that's why we went through RIP version 2. So RIP version 2, it supports both classful and classless subnets. But however, having said that, there is some limitation. That is only
Yeah.
15 hops only
Hmm.
it can manage. Okay. So that's why we went through, there is one more protocol coming into the picture, that is EAGRP.
Yeah,
So
GRP.
in EAGRP, what's happening? It supports by default 100 hop counts, but we can manage till 255 also. But however, the dependency is okay. It supports only Cisco routers
Cisco.
only. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
why we have one more protocol coming to the picture, that is OSPF. Okay, so OSPF, like it supports, like all the router vendors, and like unlimited hub count is there. So that is pretty fine now. Maximum people are using OSPF only. That is IGP. So this IGP we can use within the autonomous system. Okay.
Okay.
And in case of BGP, it is between the autonomous system we'll use BGP, and this is a broader gateway control protocol. Okay, so that is about dynamic routing protocols. And now let's
Okay.
discuss about the new concept, that is WAN connections. Okay, so WAN is nothing. WAN, it stands for wider area network. Okay, so let's see, like what and all the WAN connections we have available, all these things. Okay. Suppose, like why WAN connection is required. Okay. Suppose you have one LAN network, LAN 1 and LAN 2 is there. Okay. So these two are sits in some two different locations. Okay. Suppose we can say in Bangalore itself. Okay. So it is located in some, like one place A, and it's a place B. Okay. When these guys want to communicate with each other, they need to have some cable connected here, right? Then only they will be able to,
Yes.
access with each other. Okay, so this is called, like WAN connectivity. Okay, so between the LAN and, like, who sits in two different geographical locations will use the WAN connectivity. Okay, so here when it comes to WAN connectivity, there are three types of connectivities are there. One is dedicated line, circuit switched, and packet switch connectivities. Okay, so let's discuss about each one of them. So you understood, right? What is WAN connections? Between the
Yes.
LAN, if you want to communicate with each other, okay, those LANs are, sits into different geographical locations or somewhere, some different long distance, I can say, between the LANs. Okay, so we'll go with WAN connectivity. So,
Okay.
when it comes to WAN connectivity, there are different types I was mentioning. Like these are the in detail, like categorization, I can say. So we have a private and public. Okay, so in case of private, we have, like a dedicated and switched connectivity. Okay, so
Okay.
again, like in dedicated, we have leased lines, and when it comes to switch, circuit switch and packet switch. These are the three things we will discuss about in the WAN connectivity. One is leased lines, circuit switch, and packet switch.
Packet
Okay.
switch.
So here, like these are the different, like versions and, terminology they will use inside the leased lines, circuit switched and the packet switched. Okay. And when it comes to a public, okay, this is the internet. It's a kind of fully VPN, we can say. Okay, we'll discuss about, VPN in the later sessions. But for now, in the WAN connections, we have private and public connectivities. Okay, in case of private, we have two things again: dedicated and switched. Dedicated means it's a lease line connectivity. Switched means we have two types, that is circuit switched or packet switched. Okay, we'll discuss about each one of them. Okay, so dedicated line is nothing but, like suppose you have one network and you have another network. Okay, so here we need to establish the connectivity between each other, right? So dedicated means like only LAN 1 and LAN 2. Okay, it provides the connectivity between these networks only. Okay, suppose you will ask some a vendor, okay, saying that See, the company, it won't involve in this connectivity. It will give contact to some other third company, okay, who is providing internet services. Okay, so
Okay.
what they will do, like they will mention this company A, okay, company A, this is also company A, but these are two places, I can say. Okay, so if they want to communicate with each other, so what they will do, they will ask the third party company saying that we need to establish the connectivity between our two sites. Okay, so what they will do, I mean, we want permanent connectivity. Okay, no one we want to share the load. Okay, only our traffic it has to go in this cable. Okay, so then what happened? They will do. They will make a permanent connectivity between two sites. Okay, and it is for shorter, longer distances. Okay, and here bandwidth means like if we have the internet connect, like the bandwidth means like the amount of data which can be transmitted at one point of time. Okay, and it should be available like anytime, I can say, like 24/7 it should be available. Okay, so here when we are requesting some third party company to establish the connectivity between two sites, so they have established some C company, they have established the connectivity between these two sites. Okay, so here you are using this cable or you are not using the cable, it doesn't matter, we have to pay the fixed money to them. Okay,
Okay.
so like while establishing itself, they will give some contract or something, we can say. Okay, so whoever we have taken into a request saying that I mean this company, we have given some company C some $100 something, an example. Okay, though you are using or not using, you have to pay $100 per year. Like in general,
Okay.
in like in simple way, to understand. Was it clear? So
Yes.
dedicated line means like we're having a permanent connectivity between two sites, and this is usually for shorter, longer distances. The bandwidth is fixed here, and it will be available for 24/7. So we can say anytime it will be available. And though you are using the connectivity between sites or not, you have to pay the money. Okay. So
Okay.
this is about dedicated line. So the name itself it is telling, right? Dedicated. It is dedicated between two sites.
Two
Okay.
sides.
And we have an example called lease line is one of the example. So like both are same.
Okay.
Okay. Lease line is but like a kind of the terminology it is, that's it. Okay. So let's discuss about packet switched and circuit switched is there, no? So circuit switched also, like it's what happening. It's similarly like what I can say, dedicated line.
Dedicated.
Okay, so like it's also used for short and medium distances, and bandwidth also fixed it is. So here if you can see the difference between dedicated line and circuit switched is charges depends on the usage of the line.
Usage of line.
Okay, suppose we have this connectivity, so this is dedicated line. So though you are using or not using, we have to pay the money in case of dedicated. But when it comes to circuit switch, what happens? So we have the circuit switch. Okay, so it depends on the usage, how much data we are transferring. Okay,
Usage of the bandwidth.
usage of the band depends on that, they will charge the amount. Okay, so like in sometimes what happen, we have dedicated line and we have dedicated line. Okay, so for some reason dedicated line is failure. Okay, we need to have some backup connectivity, right? So in those
Yeah.
cases circuit switch will be used. Okay, so it is usually like a backup line for the dedicated line. Okay, so if here for dedicated line we are paying the money, and it is preferred one. Okay, lease line is the preferred one. Like most of the organizations they
Okay.
will prefer that. Okay, because they want it, they don't want to share the load, and they need to have some dedicated connectivity for privacy and all. Okay, data privacy. So
Okay.
the dedicated line is working fine. Okay, for some reason it is failed, so like the connectivity will be broken, right, between the sides. So that's why what they will do, they will keep dedicated line as a main connectivity, and circuit switch as a backup connectivity. So
Okay.
here what happened, backup connectivity, we are paying money to dedicated connectivity, and we are using these services. Okay, but and we are paying continuously, like fixed charges to them. In case of circuit switch, what happening depends on the usage only.
Usage.
Okay, suppose while installing we have to pay some money. Okay, that is fine, but after that we are not using on the regular basis, right? Because we are have dedicated connectivity. Only when it is like a fail, then only we are going for circuit switch. It automatically it is
Circuits.
switch. Okay,
Okay.
that is about circuit switch connectivity. Okay, so like it's also called it, I mean, like line on demand. It means like whenever it's required, then only we are using a circuit switch concept. Okay.
Okay.
And when it comes to packet switch, okay, so packet switch is nothing but like packet switch. Suppose you have one company. Okay, 1 second, let me tell you
Okay.
like this. Suppose this is Hyderabad. Okay, Bangalore is there. Okay, so here we have like A, B, C companies. Here also like A, B, C companies are there. Okay, so if they want to communicate with each other, like in case of dedicated line, they have to make dedicated connectivity between A to A, right? Even circuit
Yes.
switch also. But in case of packet switch, what happened? They will make the connectivity between two locations, Bangalore and Hyderabad, for some company. Okay,
Okay.
suppose company name is XYZ. They like they have some physical connectivity between Hyderabad and Bangalore locations. So what happens here? Like suppose A is like requesting XYZ company saying that I want connectivity between my locations in which is in Hyderabad and Bangalore. Okay, so what they will do? They will make some in physical some virtual connections. It is okay. So A for A, and for B it is like that. So in one physical connectivity, we'll be having some n number of virtual connectivities. You got it? This is for A, this is for B, and this is for C. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the physical connectivity. Whatever I am typing, this is the physical connectivity. Okay. So in the
Okay.
physical connectivity, like company A, company B, company C are there, no? Like they will make some virtual connection between the locations. Is it
Okay.
clear? So
Yes.
see earlier what happening, like if you want to make connectivity with respect to dedicated line or circuit switch, we need to make dedicated connectivity between it like the locations, right? Okay.
Yes.
But if some like we have something called like it's too costly, I can say, because we are making like dedicated connectivity. So what's happening? We have packet switch concept coming to the picture. So here they'll be having like cable connectivity between the locations that Hyderabad and Bangalore. Okay. So
Okay.
here what's happening? Suppose ABC companies are there. If they want to connect with each other from Bangalore to Hyderabad or Hyderabad to Bangalore, then they will make some virtual
Okay.
connections. Okay. So by default, one physical connectivity inside that will be having n number of virtual connectivities as per the requirement. They will share the load here. Okay. So that's what it is. Like bandwidth will be shared here. Okay. And
Okay.
many virtual connections in one physical connectivity. Like one physical connectivity is there between the locations, but inside that there will be many virtual connections. Okay, so here
Okay.
like frame relay is one of the example that is about like dedicated line, circuit switch, and packet switch. So like we are discussing, right? Like with respect to dedicated line, lease line is the example, right? Dedicated connectivity, dedicated line, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so like let's go like in detail about dedicated line or lease line, I can say. Okay, so if we already discussed like a permanent physical connectivity used between the two geographical locations. Okay, geographical location A, geographical location A. Okay, so here we have two geographical locations
Okay.
A, A. So like we are using dedicated connectivity, like we discussed about like dedicated lines, right? It's the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, so we have like A location B, we are using dedicated connectivity between each other. Okay, and
Okay.
this connectivity I was telling like will give to some other third party vendor. Okay, so the third party vendor who it will be like like who is providing the internet services. Okay, so we to like if you can say nowadays we are having a number of companies who is providing internet services. Those are like like BSNL is there, Vodafone, Reliance Jio. There are many things. Act also is there. There are many things is there, right? So
Yeah.
here even Tata is there. Tata is the one who is leading in the market. Almost in the world wide, 25% of the internet connectivity it is passing through Tata cables only.
Okay.
Okay. So what we'll do if you want to connect between like between a company to geographical locations, we'll ask some I know what I can say some internet service provider vendor like BSNL or for someone will reach them. Okay, saying that we want connectivity between these locations. Who will provide the best services to us? It will kind of bidding it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so like they will whoever providing best services, the company will opt them, and they will make the physical connectivity between the two sites. Okay, so
Okay.
here it is 24/7. It should be available. and though we are using or not using, we have to pay the money. Okay.
Okay.
And like it's like annual rental basis it is. Okay, per year, this much we have to pay the money, like that they will charge though
Okay.
if we are using or not using. And it's a fixed bandwidth because no one is sharing the bandwidth, right? So it's between two geographical location companies only. Okay.
Okay.
And like so here the speed is like starts from 64 kbps to 2 mbps, and like many like higher speed also is
And
there, but it's yeah. So this is about leased line connectivity. So same thing as like a dedicated connectivity, dedicated line only, but like we call it as leased line connectivity. Okay, is it clear?
okay. Yes.
Okay, so like we have different types like a short leased line, medium, depends on the distance it is. That's it. Okay, so short leased line nothing but for shorter distances. Medium is medium distances. Longer means longer distances. That's it. Okay. So here, based on the distance, how they are, establishing the connectivity, also they will charge the money. Suppose you're having less distance, okay, so the price will be different. But some, like if you can say you're traveling from one distance to one distance, okay, so you have taken a vehicle to travel that, they will charge less money, right, for less distance. If
Yes.
you go bit more,
Mhm.
bit less, more money. So in a similar fashion, like it will go. So suppose like if you can say shorter distances, I was mentioning, no, the short lease line use it for within the city. So in case of like if you can say within the city, Bangalore to Bangalore only, something like that. Okay. And medium means it is between the cities. Okay. And long lease line between the continents or between the countries, I can say.
States.
Yeah. So we know what is lease line, right? Lease line is nothing but it's a dedicated connectivity. So here we have short, medium,
Medium and large.
longer, long. Okay. So here short means within city. Medium means between the cities. Between the cities is nothing but like comes Bangalore to Hyderabad, something like that. Longer means between the countries, I can say. Okay.
Okay.
So this is about like lease lines and its types. Okay.
This
So
line.
yeah, these are some protocols. They will use HDLC and PPP. We'll discuss in the later on classes. So you understood, right? Like what
Okay.
is lease line connectivity and the types. Okay. So let's discuss about
Yes.
one more thing called frame relay. Okay. So if you observe here, like where I can say, let me tell you here. So packet switch is there, no? Like we know dedicated line and circuit switch. Dedicated line is the permanent connectivity. Circuit switch is backup of dedicated line. Okay. So in case of packet switch connectivity, we'll be having one physical connectivity, and inside the physical connectivity, we'll be having many virtual connections. So here frame relay is one of the example. Okay. So like lease line. So let's discuss about frame relay. So here frame relay is nothing but like see, we discussed, right, one physical connectivity is there. This is one physical connectivity. So they will call a frame relay cloud. So inside the frame relay cloud, okay, so this is the head office and this is the regional offices. Okay. So if they want to connect between head office to regional office, what they are doing, they are using the frame relay cloud. Inside the frame relay cloud, they are connecting the two regional offices, right? Got my point. So
Yeah.
this is the, one second, I'll tell you here. So this is physical connectivity. Okay. So inside that, multiple virtual connections are going. That's it about like a frame relay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's frame relay, like a frame relay connection is layer 2 protocol. Okay. So here the connectivity is through virtual circuits. One physical circuit, inside that will be having a number of virtual circuits.
Many
Okay.
virtual.
Yeah. Virtual circuits are multiple logical connections on the same physical connectivity. So this is physical connectivity. Inside that, multiple logical connections will be there. Right? That's about frame relay. Like it's a packet switch concept only. Okay. So let's go with some small recap. Okay, just a minute. What is new slide? Okay. Yeah. So here WAN connections, right? WAN connections. WAN connection means like wider area network. Okay,
Wide area network.
so we having private, public.
Public.
So in private again we have
Dedicated.
dedicated and switched, we can say.
Switch.
Okay, so in case of dedicated, what we are having, it's a leased line connectivity. Okay, in switch, packet switched,
Okay.
circuit switched. Okay, so leased line is nothing but it's a dedicated connectivity. Okay, and it will be available for 24/7. Charges are fixed per annual basis. Okay, like there are many things. Okay, like with respect to leased line. Okay, so in case of packet switch, what happening here? In case of like leased line, we have like three types again: short, medium, and longer.
Medium and large.
Yeah, short is like within the city, medium between the cities, and longer within the between the countries, we can say. Okay, so that is about
Okay.
leisure line, and all these things. Okay, packet switch also is a kind of dedicated connectivity only, but it will be used based on the usage. Based on the usage, they will charge the money, and it's like kind of backup to the dedicated line connectivity. Okay, and when it comes to
Okay.
circuit switch, in one physical connectivity, there will be a number of virtual connectivities. Okay,
Virtual connectivity.
that is called circuit switch. So it's a frame relay is one of the example. Like for dedicated line, like how we have leased line connectivity. In a similar fashion, for circuit switch, we have the frame relay concept. That is about
Okay.
a WAN connectivity. Any queries?
No, no. Fine.
Okay. So in next session, we'll discuss about ACL.
Okay.